Matt, welcome. I'm handing this mic to you right now. So, very first question for the moderator. Oh, so for any new incomers, so I'm gonna ask 10 moderator questions and then we'll open the floor to you guys. So, the very first question. So, Matt, your story starts with you teaching yourself hip hop in the basement by watching music video because you didn't have a studio nearby. How has the self taught scriptness help you navigate the fast moving algorithm of TikTok Shop where the rules change every week?
Yeah, first of all, thanks so much for having me. Excited to
Yes.
chat with y'all. And it's helped a lot. Like, I started a long time ago, 19 years ago, as a creator, starting on YouTube. And the thing about creators is that nothing in the creator economy stays the same for very long. And so, the two skills that are the most important, one is the ability to take action before you're ready. And I think that that's when you see people that are successful, whether it's on any platform, TikTok Shop, it's the people that just actually make it happen. And at the beginning, your videos aren't good. You're not getting a lot of sales. You're like, I don't know what I'm doing. But it's those people that just dive into the deep end that end up the most successful in the long run. And then the second skill that's really important is the humility to be able to pivot as things change. So if you're noticing that, wow, long videos are converting really well, or really authentic talking to camera is working really well, but then all of a sudden your numbers start to change a bit rather than being like, oh, it's the algorithm, it's this, it's that, taking a step back and being like, okay, let me see what's working. What could I improve at? How are things shifting? How are the customers and the viewers reacting to different styles of videos? Okay, let me try this. Let me adjust that. And the creators that are able to stay nimble, stay humble, and keep putting in that work are the ones that are really the most successful in the long term.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because I talked to a couple YouTube creator, and I feel like it's pretty hard for them, to switch from the most like OG, platforms to the new, really new in TikTok style. So I feel like that need like a lot of courage and bravery to switch to TikTok from
Yeah,
one of your OG YouTube creators.
Yeah, I mean
Uh
the
huh.
pivot from like long form YouTube to
Uh
TikTok
huh.
Shop is a huge jump, but even within TikTok, you see it like the creators that were really big over COVID when
Uh huh.
TikTok first got popular.
Yeah.
Most of them are not the creators that are the most successful now. A lot of people rose to 10, 20, 30 million followers, and then over the next few years they just kind of fell off because their style of content went out of trend
Uh
and
huh.
they didn't adapt to new things like TikTok Shop, like TikTok Lives,
Yeah.
and weren't keeping up with what was current. So it's a really important skill.
That's amazing. So I also like scroll through your videos, and then so you have definitely mastered the art of 15-second viral hook. So now that you have your own TikTok shop, what was the biggest shock transitioning from creating content for entertainment to creating content for conversion?
Yeah, it's a huge difference. I mean, I started with dance videos, music videos, that
Mm-hmm.
type of stuff. And you have so many things that you can rely on when you're using something visual like dance. You have
Yeah.
your outfit, you have the trending song, you have all these things that can go insanely viral, but they're not really building a connection with your audience.
Mm-hmm.
And so the way that I started building it on YouTube initially was through vlogs and showing people what is it like to dance for Taylor Swift on tour, or what is it
Yeah.
like to teach sold out workshops all over the world. And I would show the behind the scenes. So I had some experience talking to camera from that, but what I really learned when I went into TikTok Shop and I started my brand is that it has to be on a whole new level because you only have 10, 15, maybe 30 seconds
Uh huh.
to really tell them this whole story of why they should trust you and why they should love this brand and the
Yeah.
benefits of it. So I had to get really good at my hooks, my first 3 seconds. But I lean into a lot of the things that I learned from visual content. So even on a lot of my hooks for the brand, I'll do like a clothing transition where a t-shirt like shoom, flies in and
Wow.
transitions on me. And I'm like, see how good this fits? Like go right into it,
Uh
right?
huh.
So a lot of the content styles can be combined
Mm-hmm.
from really strong visual hooks into really good audio hooks and really good text on screen, and
Uh
just
huh.
piecing all those things together is really what gives you the best chance of retaining that audience. And what I noticed that with Shop that's so different
Mm-hmm.
is that it's a lot more of a quantity game in the
Yeah.
sense of your viewers aren't seeing
Mm-hmm.
every single video. That was really difficult for me at first because I'm used to posting like
Mm-hmm.
max once a day, and it has a very specific purpose. And I would hang out with my
Mm-hmm.
my friends. So some of them are doing millions in GMV a year on TikTok
Uh huh.
Shop, and I would be like, "What's your strategy?" And they would be like, "Yeah, I posted like 18 times today," and I was like, "Eight? What do you mean?" But over time, I learned
Yeah.
that It's about having really good quality, really understanding your hooks, really understanding your products, but then just rinsing and repeating that formula with different pain points, different ways of executing the video, because you never know what's going to hit with an audience.
Oh, 100%. So different, like YouTube and TikTok. Definitely the energy and the investments in time, definitely like super different. Yeah. So the third question. So through your Viral Creator Academy you started recently, so you teach people how to engineer virality, and then can that same framework be applied to any product, even the boring, everyday stuff, or do you believe a product needs a certain viral spark before you even hit record?
Yeah, what we teach in the academy is that virality, it's not luck. It can be replicated. There's a reason why creators that build a following and are great at creating content can consistently go viral, right? And that's not to say every video will go viral. Of course, there's trial and error and some of them will always flop, but there is a repeatable formula. And so what the repeatable formula is, especially on TikTok Shop, that I've really leaned into is problem solution, right? People mostly love to buy when something solves a problem. And so for every product, there is a solution that it solves, or a problem that it solves, even if you have to construct it a little bit or go a little bit deeper, right? So if you're doing something like supplements, it's very obvious, right? If it's weight loss or it's a vitamin deficiency and this is the thing that solves it, you have so many ways that you can go about that video. You could just start talking by saying, here's this new product and it really helps with these vitamins and yada, yada, yada. But someone's going to sniff that out as an ad right away and they're going to scroll past it. But if you lead with the problem, you lead with relatability, and you talk about how you just haven't been able to get enough sleep lately. And every night you're tossing and turning and you've tried melatonin and you've tried ashwagandha and you've tried a eight sleep bed that cools and heats and all these things, and it's just not working. But when you finally found this one thing, there was this combination of supplements. That's the first night of 8 hours of good sleep that you've had in a while. And you just tell that as a story and then wait till the end to pitch the product as a solution to the problem that you've been talking about for 40 seconds. That ad is going to convert so much better. That video is going to convert so much better than something where you're leading with the product. And so what I've noticed on TikTok specifically is that storytelling is working overselling these days. People are seeing a lot of content that's selling, selling, selling. So when you can connect, when you can get someone's trust, when you can get them invested in your story and then provide the product just as like happens to be a solution, those are where we're seeing the best conversions right now on content as it goes with shoppable. When it comes to organic content and building your following, we do everything in the beginning is off of proven formulas. So if you're a fitness creator, you like helping people lose weight and get in shape, spend 30 minutes going through and finding outliers in your niche. And a lot of people will say, go find viral videos in your niche, but it's not really about virality. It's about outliers. And specifically what we look at over views is saves and shares, because saves and shares are intention to actually do something with the information, right? If I watch a video, maybe I leave a comment like, wow, this is amazing. That's cool, but I don't have any intention to come back to that. But the minute that I send it to my friend, my brother, my girlfriend, or I save it into my folder of like places to visit or, supplements that I want to buy, now I have an intent to actually take action on that video. And so when you're looking at people's content or looking at your own content, the saves and the shares are really the metric where we want to say, okay, this video was effective and it's going to lead to action. And then once you have those, you can recreate them. And the biggest mistake that creators make, the number one thing that I preach in the Viral Creator Academy, is when you have a win, recreate it 1,000 different ways. You think that people are getting tired of it. You think you're being repetitive, but especially on TikTok, if there's a hook that works, like for the clothing brand, the hook that works, and I still to this day can't explain it, but every time I wear this hoodie, I get so many compliments. That hook outperformed, this is the best material, this is the softest, this has X, Y, and Z, this is anything else. Number one was I get so many compliments when I wear this hoodie, right? And so once we found that, wow, people just really want to feel good and they want to feel stylish and they want to feel complimented when they're out, we reused that hook for Mad Chill, which is my clothing brand, over and over and over again. And it worked consistently for us for now over a year and a half we've been using it.
Wow, that's totally amazing. Because sometimes when I scroll with TikTok or Reels, I saw like a certain hook that really grabbed my attention, and I click into their profile, I can actually found there's like probably 50 to 60 like same exact hook, but it's just like one video that make me it's like really catch my eye. So like something like as you say is pretty much consistency with the same really good performing hook. I love it. I love
Yeah,
to,
exactly.
you already gave me like $1 million lessons, I feel like.
I had a student in the
Uh-huh.
Creator Academy last night. He
Yeah.
was sending me voice note, and he was like, "I just can't do it, man. I
Uh-huh.
can't copy a
Oh.
video.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I'm copying. I feel like I'm not being authentic." And I was like, "Okay, who are some of your favorite creators?" He's a
Yeah.
fitness guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Oh, this guy and that guy and this guy." I was like, "Okay, give me 20 minutes. I'll come back to you." And
Oh.
I went on
Uh-huh.
their pages and I pulled all their top videos, and then I pulled all the other variations
Yeah.
of the videos they remade from other people. And so I would send him his favorite creators. I would send him the exact same video from all three of them
Uh,
and be like, every person in your niche is taking, you make it your own. You
yeah.
change the
Uh-huh.
information or the knowledge to be yours.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the hook and the format and the visual overall guide of it, it's the quickest way to grow. That's why
Uh-huh.
singers make cover songs.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Virgil Abloh said all you have to do is change a piece of clothing 3% to make it original. Everyone is doing it. And so the faster you learn how to do
Mm-hmm.
it, add your own twist to it to make it unique,
Uh-huh.
but lean into proven formulas, the quicker you'll be successful.
Oh, that's amazing. Hey, let's move on to the very next question. So, you have your own academy, your shop, your dance tours, and your DJing. So, how do you use data, specifically like tools like Fastmoss, so we are TikTok data analytic platforms, to decide which part of your business gets your energy today?
Yeah, well, first of all, shout out to Fastmoss because before I even came to YFCon, before I met you, before anything, I was a subscriber to Fastmoss. I've been
Oh,
using it since the day we got off the TikTok shop.
oh, that's amazing.
And I'm a big fan of it because up until Fastmoss and TikTok shop, it was really difficult to understand what's actually performing well. And again, like, there's so many vanity metrics, right? Views is great, subscribers, followers, all that's great, but that's a vanity metric. I have 35 million followers. That has nothing to do with if I can convert sales or what actual traffic I can drive. And so as a creator, as a brand, whichever side you're on, you always want to look at the metrics that are actually moving the needle, right? We talked about saves and shares being more valuable than likes and comments. And in the same way, what Fastmoss allows you to do is allows you to see brands and products specifically that are actually doing sales. You can look up someone's GMV. You can see what specific amount a product has sold and even what ad led to those sales. So having that data is so valuable because if you go on, let's say, Facebook Ads Manager, which is what I used to use before I discovered Fastmoss, I can't see what's actually performing. I can only see the ads that are running, which
Yeah.
doesn't really help you that much. Once you get the layer that Fastmoss provides, which is, this is not sponsored, by the way, just like genuinely hype you guys up because I use it. But it's so valuable. Like I go on and I look at brands and I'm like, okay, what are their top 5 performing UGC videos? Great. That's what we need to model after. That's what we need to study, right? And so having that upper hand of being able to get actual data, conversions, analytics, like real, actually what's working is super, super valuable.
Oh, appreciate it, the comments. And then, yes, so we are really going, Fastmoss actually. I recently just discovered a lot of brands like actually using Fastmoss that I'm not aware of. Like, someone I see like big as you, and then like couple days ago, I just figured out like Morgan Stanley also, using Fastmoss. Like, pretty interesting. It's like a wild range of, company and then like creator like you are using Fastmoss. So really appreciate you guys. Yeah, so the very next question will be about our tools as well. So we not are just only having Fastmoss, but we have another tool called Moss Creator. So it's an outreach tool for TikTok seller or agency, or anyone that are interested in reaching out to TikTok creators. That tools help brands reach out to creators through automated email and TikTok DM. So as someone who probably gets thousands of DMs, so you are a creator, but you're also like a seller side. So what is the one thing a brand can say in a Moss Creator message or something related to that, or just a cold emailing that can actually get your attention to hit reply? Because you have two perspectives. You are a creator, so you probably receive a lot of email to work with you, but you have your own shop, so you wanted to work with some affiliates to promote your products. So I would like to learn more about your thoughts about this.
Yeah, I'll speak first from the brand side, like a brand reaching out to me. I think that there's different levels to everyone's career. There is a time where a creator is so grateful to work with a brand that has a little bit of a reputation because they can put it on their resume, they can put it onto their Instagram, they can tag it on their TikTok and pin it at the top and show that they've worked with a really reputable brand. So if you are a reputable brand, you have some momentum in the space. A lot of times finding those new creators and building a relationship with them, they'll be willing to make content for free, or in the case of TikTok Shop, like, it's amazing because you have the affiliate structure and the commission. And so what I look for generally in that is just that the brand aligns with what I'm doing. At the level that I would say I'm at now, like, I don't do a lot of trades. I mostly do paid partnerships, which is once you get to, a certain point, you can say no to the freebies if you don't want anymore and start to request whether it's retainer, higher commissions, upfront fees, stuff like that. But I still look for that organic overlap. So for me, as a professional dancer, I have the brand. I really care about things like hydration. I care about fashion. I care about footwear a lot. I love to play sports. So even things like recovery supplements are amazing. Anything that I feel like, oh, that fits into my everyday life, I love. And from the brand side, showing that you actually spent a little time researching the creator and make the message customized is huge. And this goes from the creator to the brand too, right? Either way, because so many of the messages that we get, even more now, are AI, or they're spam, or they're from an agency that's just messaging top 100 creators in X, Y, and Z niche, right? So those things are immediately getting funneled out by most of the creators that are really valuable. And so taking the time, like, even when I reach out for Mad Chill, our clothing brand, like, if I'm sending a DM, it came from me, and I'm like, hey, Sarah, I loved, how you're doing these wellness things. We really care about mental health. Here's a recent thing we did. I think we could do this together. Like, I put the time into crafting that message. And, my open rate for stuff like that is probably 80% plus. And that's, partially, I guess, because I have a following, so it comes with a little bit of, it helps for sure. But taking the time to do that is so valuable. And from the brand side too, if you're reaching out to creators that are sort of your dream creators to work with, take a moment, talk about a video that they did that you feel like would work with your brand. Make it easy for that creator to say yes. And if you're on the creator side and you're small and you're reaching out to one of these big brands that's your dream brand, take the time to show them what a collaboration would look like. Like, one of the things that we have in Viral Creator Academy is templates that's like, hey, I'm so-and-so, I do X, Y, and Z, and I love your brand because of this and that. And here's what I think a collaboration could look like, where it feels like a genuine connection, and it's not just, oh, they probably sent this to 50 brands today. So whichever side you're on, authenticity is really the key. If you're just going for mass, like, of course you can do the mass DMs and stuff, but the relationships that always have warranted the best results for me have been the ones that I really invested in, no matter which side that it's on.
Oh yeah, 100%. So even though we are a tool, this is TikTok Shop seller, but as Matt you say, that's definitely, I would still suggest my own clients to somehow customize a bit, different email to different creator. Like, that will definitely affect your open rates, since we couldn't guarantee any open rates for that side. So, as you said, I will recommend them to customize a little bit as well. Yeah. So moving on. So you were a huge part of our experience last year. Looking back at WiveCon 2025 in Long Beach Community Center, what was the biggest takeaway you had about the future of live commerce, and how has that influenced what you're bringing? You probably to the April WiveCon this LA. If you're free to join us again.
Yeah, hopefully I can make it back for that. YFCon was incredible. It's actually the first shop live type event that I had been to. So, it was, I've been to a few since then. You guys inspired me to go deeper into the space. But, I've been a creator for so long now. I've been to all of the VidCons and the playlists and all of the more traditional type events. I thought it was so cool to go to something that, while it was still in the creator niche, I felt like I was learning every single talk. Like, I went to more talks in the 2 days than I have in the last 10 conventions I went to, because I just felt like all the creators, like, I think her name was Ali. She was like one of the top female creators overall on Shop. Like, her talk was incredible. The numbers she's doing and the way she looks at content. I think she was saying, like, she's a mom and she has all these things to balance in her life, and she's doing like millions in GMV. It's so insane and just honestly inspiring. Yeah, it's amazing, because the thing that's so great about TikTok Shop is it levels the playing field, and me as a creator that's been around for a while and has a following, ideally I'm able to leverage my following, but I actually love the fact that small creators have just as much of a chance of going viral, of getting sales, because it forces the big creators and the people that have been around for a while to level up. Like, it forces me to get better. I can't just rest on, oh, my brand's been around or I have followers. Like, no, I have to go back to work and back to school just like everyone and be like, how do I make my hooks better? How do I learn how to storytell how do I make content more consistently and stay on my content schedule? And so I think what YFCon does is it's like a boot camp for that. You learn everything that you need to do from people that are actually doing it, and that's the most valuable way to learn anything, is just to hear the people that are really in the trenches, that are saying, I make 20 videos a day and here's how I do it, and I'm a mom and I do this and I do that and I can fit it in my schedule, so can you. And you leave and you're just like, I can actually do this. I can really do this. So, for anyone that's listening, that's either creating but feeling like they're stuck, they're overwhelmed, or you just want to get to that next level, 100% like make it out to YFCon. It's an incredible event.
Oh, thank you, Matt. Being super supportive. So yeah, back to yourself. So many creators are afraid to pivot. So you went from choreography to education to DJing to e-commerce. So what is your advice for a TikTok shop affiliate who feels stuck in one category and wants to expand? Since you do a lot of like tons of stuff, you're probably like the best person to give advice.
Yeah, I'll tell you the secret. It's really pretty simple. 99.9% of people just won't do the work. And that's the truth, is they'll see a video, they'll come to YFCon, they'll get inspired, they'll make content for a week or two, and if it doesn't hit or they don't go viral, they don't get a check or whatever, they give up. And so if you're just the 0.1% that actually stays consistent for, even just give yourself 3 months and say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to treat it like a semester at school.
Yeah.
I'm going to wake up. I'm going to make my content. If I have to do my 9 to 5, I'm not going to go out on Thursday night, or I'll block off Sunday to do my content for the week. Like, whatever it is, there are things in your schedule right now that are wasting your time, that if you really wanted to make content, if you really wanted to be a shop affiliate and grow, you can carve out 2, 3, 4 hours a week to make enough content for that entire week. It's 100% doable. And so the only thing getting in the way from you actually doing it is yourself. And so that's really the secret. People in the Viral Creator Academy say the same thing, like, oh, well, I had a busy week and a thing. Great. Okay, you had a busy week. What about next week? Oh, yeah, I could do next week. Okay, great. Are you going to do it? Are you actually going to show up and do it? And the thing about content, what I was just saying about YFCon, you see these people on stage and they're not special in the way that a traditional celebrity or traditional creator is, right? Like, some of these kids are like, they're 18 and they have perfect hair and they drive a Lambo and they grew up in Beverly Hills, and you're like, yeah, okay, it's easy enough for you to do it. But what I love about TikTok Shop and the affiliates there is you have all ages, all backgrounds,
Oh yeah,
all levels of
100%.
income, all levels of education. There is no advantage that is any better than any other advantage. The only thing that matters is that you turn your camera on, you speak authentically, and then you have to learn content strategies. You can't just talk for no reason. You have to understand hooks. You have to do some homework and really understand content. But the only thing that matters at the end of the day is if you post consistently, because otherwise all the knowledge and the ideas and the things in your head, they can't do anything unless you post them.
Oh yes, and then as for someone like saying keep like they're really busy and blah blah, but I mean you have like a lot of like different things going on. You still figure out some time to devote some energy in this business. So I think that's definitely an excuse.
Yeah,
And then
well, I didn't really answer your question of how do you figure out what to focus on, but the simple answer there is time blocking.
yes,
Like, in my calendar, I'm like, this hour is making these videos for TikTok. This hour is choreographing this dance. This hour is my call for this and that. And I treat my calendar as if it's a real job. I treat content creation just like any business, just like any job. And then what you want to do is, as you're seeing something working, you want to pivot to do more of that thing, right? So if you notice that, okay, you're doing 3 different types of content with TikTok Shop, you're doing lifestyle stuff, you're doing supplements, you're doing furniture, and your furniture videos are just crushing, like, 10x down on furniture. Like, if something starts really working for you, move quickly, adjust the plan as you go, but having that time blocking and having that schedule laid out for yourself and treating it very seriously, like it's a real business, like it's a real job, will do a lot for you.
oh yes, and I circled to about what you mentioned earlier, like the TikTok shop had more diverse backgrounds. So I have talked to a lot of TikTok creators who made it to 5 million above. They are actually mentioned to me that they were broke at some point of their life. So TikTok is definitely like a game changer for a lot of people out here. So it's really impressive to learn about like TikTok Shop can make you you know totally switch your lifestyle all in seconds if you make
Yeah,
if you
100%.
devote your time as you said. Yeah. So we
Yeah,
also
and you can do it. You can do it without it taking over your life. I think that's really important too. Is for creators to remember, like when you first start something new, like when you start TikTok Shop, every video takes so long because you're like, what do I say? How do I edit it? What text do I put on the screen? How do I tag the product? What's my showcase? There's a lot of things to learn, which again is good because that means most people will give up and you will have a better chance of succeeding if you just actually do the work. But remember that every video you make, it's like putting reps in practice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like playing scales on the piano. It's like very clunky, very slow at first, but some of these people that are doing 20 videos a day, they're doing 20 videos like uploaded, posted, done within 2 hours because they have the system down and they're so
Oh
fast.
yeah.
So put in the work, struggle in the beginning a little bit. I promise you it gets easier.
Oh, that's great advice. So we also recently had a guest who's called Sherry. She hit at 1.2 million in commissions starting 2 weeks after she had a baby. So you started with just a Honda Civic and a drive to LA. So do you think hunger is more important than talent when it comes to TikTok Shop?
Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, going back to what I said on the very first question, the
Yeah.
number one decider in content, if you are going to be successful, is consistency. It's hunger. It's are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to hit upload on the days where you're not feeling that great or you had a stressful day? Do you still make the time to actually get it done? It's really not that different from going to the gym. It's the same kind of thing. Not every day is a day where you wake up and you want to work out, but
Mm-hmm.
what do you do on the days where you don't feel like going? That's the deciding factor. And it's the same thing here. Talent actually doesn't get you very far in something like TikTok Shop because people don't care if you're talented, which is great news because it means that again the playing field is leveled, right?
Yeah.
It's really about can you communicate to people authentically. I think that's why too you see so many successful creators on TikTok Shop that are moms, that are older people, that are people that aren't the traditional influencer, that aren't educated about the topic, right? And it's because I don't want to hear someone talk about a supplement and tell me every ingredient and
Mm-hmm.
scientifically what it's good for.
Oh yeah.
I want a normal person that's like me, that had a rough day at work or having trouble sleeping, to be like, man, I've tried everything. And like, actually, you know what? This stuff legitimately worked. It really helped me. And I want to believe them and I want to buy it and I want to feel the results and be like, they were right, right? Like that's the experience on TikTok Shop,
Yeah.
which is amazing because that means that you as a normal person doing normal person things, that is the talent. That's all you need.
Oh, wow, I love that. It's really inspiring. So you have experience with AI generated dance and NFTs in the past. So how are you integrating AI into your TikTok Shop workflow to speed up content production? So this kind of like circle back what you mentioned that you have like certain time block, and then some creators already have their own system to do their work. So do you have any secrets when it comes down to your productions?
Yeah, I think the first one that's the most obvious that a
Mm-hmm.
lot of creators are talking about is just ideation and being able to organize ideas. You can go onto Claude or to ChatGPT and say, give me 10 ideas for something about this product. It's going to be pretty vague. You're not
Yeah.
really going to be able to take those and actually turn them into content. But if you understand hook psychology and you understand a bit about how to craft a TikTok Shop video, you can definitely take that inspiration or say, what are 3 pain points that people that want to get this result experience, right? You can prompt AI for things like that and take the pain points, take the things, and then put them into your knowledge of, okay, how do I craft this into a really good video?
Yeah.
That's where I'm using it a lot on the ideation side. But what I'm starting to play with more is generating AI photos and videos that can be used in my actual videos. So for instance, I'm in Miami right now. Our
Yeah.
warehouse where we make our clothing is in LA, and I can't get there. Like I've just been out here working. It doesn't make sense to go back to LA. So the other day I needed a really cool product shot of a hoodie in the warehouse. I have some images of old hoodies in our warehouse, and I just was able to swap it out and do the whole thing. I was even able to make it come off of the shelf and have me grab it. And from a distance and from whatever with some cuts and stuff, it looks 100% authentic. So things like getting B-roll, getting background content. If you want to have a figure talking about some type of opinion on something and you green screen and do different things. Obviously, there's ethics around reusing someone's actual name and face and stuff. But as far as the video quality, it's getting really, really good. And it's one of the biggest requests that we've had actually in my academy is more instruction on video AI content. I think that the cool thing about it for creators, a lot of creators are scared. They're like, is this going to just take over my job?
Yeah.
And the thing is that AI does not do taste very well. It doesn't do humor and it doesn't do taste very well, right? So you being a human that understands human emotion and what humans are going through, you're always going to be able to take the science and take the clip and whatever it is that AI makes, and you're going to be able to make it human by reacting to it or talking about if you agree or disagree, or all of these types of things that you as a person can contribute to with your emotion and your experience. So I think for creators, it's not you or AI, it's you plus AI, and how can you speed up your workflow and make your content even better with those assets.
100%. Sorry, I'm figuring out your TikTok, your Instagram handle. Someone's asking your Instagram handle, so I'm a little bit, So yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't put it in my bio here. I should have. It's Matt Steffanina, Steff.
Yes, go follow Matt. He's really impressive person. Okay, so one last question before we move on to the open floor Q&A, where you guys can start requesting. You can, there's like a hand icon. You can click on it, and then I will request your speaking spot, so you can ask questions directly to Matt, or you can drop your questions down to the group chat. So very last question. So it's our LA WiveCon shout out. So we are expecting 13,000 people at the LA WiveCon in April. So for the creator in the Discord right now who are on the fence about attending, so why is in-person networking still the ultimate cheat code in the digital world in your standpoints?
Yeah, I mean, I touched on the value of this convention a bit earlier. I was really grateful to be able to go to the last one. The thing about in-person conventions that is so different from online is there's a lot of people in the space that are very busy. All of us are creating. We have a million things going on. Some of you guys probably have 1,000 sample requests and videos you're supposed to make and all this stuff, right? So when it comes to things like answering DMs, answering emails, getting in WhatsApp groups, even like Discords, it's really hard to keep up with everything, right? But when you're physically at an event and you're in front of someone and you say like, I love your content, I just have a question, like how do you do X, Y, and Z? 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, that person, even if they're a huge creator, will take a couple minutes out of their day to break it down to you and reason with you and look you eye in the eye and really try to help you. And, I noticed that, I experienced that with creators like Ali, one of my good friends, Victoria Prince. She was there speaking. She's one of the biggest fashion creators on TikTok Shop. And she's just answering people's questions, hanging out after her talk. I did the same. I tried to help people as much as I could. And so that alone is so priceless, to be able to go up to these people that are influential or leaders in the space and be able to talk to them, run into them. Also, if you're a creator looking to connect with other creators, whether it's for collabs or just knowledge sharing groups, it's incredible. I mean, that's, we mentioned Viral Creator Academy a couple of times, but the reason I started that is because I wanted to be around other creators that were also sharing knowledge, because it's too much for one creator to research and know everything. So you get these collectives, these group chats, these communities going, and you learn so much faster. You share knowledge and you really help each other level up. And something like YFCon is the perfect in-person version of that, where so much can happen in a couple days. So yeah, I'm a big supporter, a big fan. I will hopefully be back there. And if you guys have the opportunity, definitely go through.
Oh my goodness, thank you, Matt. That's super sweet. So that wrap up the moderator questions. Being super helpful and supportive all the way. So for the audience here right now, you can either click on the hand icon on the bar or drop in your questions, so you can ask Matt directly. So he had extensive experience with no matter you're a newbie in TikTok shops or you're just like trying to figure out YouTube content creation, that's also something he might be able to help. So, or you want to start your own business. And Matt actually is starting his Viral Academy. So, in the meantime, you can feel free to share more about the Viral Academy and what does it look like and how long is the program, etc.
Yeah. If anyone has questions, happy to answer in general. But while we're seeing if any hands go up, the Viral Creator Academy, it's actually I've been doing mentorships for a long time with small groups, like 20 people at a time, but they're a little more expensive. They're a little more intensive. It's like 8 weeks of very intense training. And a lot of people were saying, I want to be part of this. I really want the knowledge. I want the community, but I'm really busy right now, or I don't have the funds to do this intensive 8 weeks. So on March 16th, the Viral Creator Academy, the group version, will be launching. It'll be $97 a month. It'll have courses. It'll have interviews with so many creators. It'll have templates for things like brand outreach. It'll have AI prompts and full courses on AI prompting and content. We have so many resources, and it's not just me. I have a bunch of other creators that are incredible, some TikTok shop creators with huge GMV coming in and teaching as well. So it really is a great community resource. And one of the cool things, we're doing it through School, which if you guys are familiar with School, one of the amazing things is that they have great referrals and affiliates. So we're going to have a 30% affiliate. So basically, if you come in and you bring a couple friends with you, it essentially is free. And the more people that are part of it, the more knowledge is shared, the more everyone grows. So it's really just a community tool. I still am going to do the mentorships and the more intensive stuff in the off seasons, but as far as getting the most out of your time and just being able to check in. Oh, the other thing I'm really excited about is weekly trend updates. So it'd be like the top videos in different niches that went viral, the hooks that are going viral, the sounds that are going viral, and all of that just posted in the group. So when you have time to shoot, you can literally be like, what's been going on this week? Boom, boom, boom. Great. And you can get to work. So I basically created the resource that all of me and my creator friends in LA have been saying we wish we had, and we just finally got together and we're like, okay, let's make it.
Oh my God, that's impressive.
So if anyone has questions on it too, feel free to DM me on Instagram, and I can check my DMs after this, or send you a link to it, because it's not technically live yet. But yeah, if anyone has questions on content now too, happy to answer.
Okay, would you mind sharing your TikTok and your YouTube handle as well? I already share your Instagram handle, and then someone's asking your link for this academy. Oh, it's not public yet, right? So it's gonna be DM to share questions.
Yeah, I tried to type my Instagram but it changed it to
it's your Discord.
No, I just put it in the chat there, Matt Steffanina. It's my full name. That's my Instagram and my TikTok. If actually, I can share. Well, the website's not live yet, so it won't actually go to a link. If you're interested in Viral Creator Academy, just send me a DM on Instagram, and after this, I will check the DMs. I'll send you the VIP email list link, and then that way you'll be able to access it. Can I send a link in Discord? I don't know if I can.
I think I do not have like a really strict. Yeah, you do. You can post a link. That's 100% fine for you. And then you can post it at the there's a channel called seller/agency partnerships. So you can post it there, and then so there will be threads for you, so you can keep track of the end. You can keep track of the answers. Will be easier for you. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That's yay.
Oh,
okay.
There we go. All right, I was able to put it in the chat. I think that's just a type form that you can fill out, and then you'll get notified when we're getting ready to launch it in a couple weeks here.
Yes, and then you can, after the AMA, you can post it. You can start threads, and then to share more information, so people can sign up, and then DM you or answers in those threads.
Cool. Yeah. I see that there's a question. It looks like from Meowica. I love your handle, by the way. Any good pointers to ask or to do in an event like this? I think that one of the things that I would definitely recommend is when you go to a creator's talk, if you have even just 2 minutes, 5 minutes before the talk, do a little bit of research on their page. Go to their TikTok, go to their Instagram, learn a little bit about what they do, and take advantage of the time. Like if they give you 10 minutes at the end of a talk, 5 minutes at the end of a talk to ask questions, use that as an opportunity to get up there and actually connect with them, ask a question. If you're educated on them a bit and you really listen to the talk and you ask a genuine question, so often those types of things lead to relationships afterwards, and they'll be like, you know what, like let's keep in touch and everything. So it's a really great way to connect with creators and with speakers. I would say as far as like specific questions to ask, most of the time people will have questions about a topic and just no one will be the one to ask them. And so honestly, it just, what are you struggling with? Like after their talk and what they said, just genuinely, like, what's the thing you're going to go home and be like, they were talking about this and that, but I still don't understand X, Y, and Z. And even if it seems like a little bit of a newbie question, a beginner question, if you feel like that is something that you're genuinely going to struggle with, anytime I ask something like that, most people in the room are like, yeah, I was wondering that too. Like that didn't make sense to me. So just being genuine the same way you would with your content is great.
Amazing. I think we have another question from David. So, an academy group will still be active after the 8 weeks, so we can always chat with each other. I think he's asking questions. Can we always
Yes,
chat?
so the academy actually it is going to be monthly instead of the 8 weeks. So the 8 week one is the mentorship that's currently currently going. That'll end in a couple weeks, and this one will start, and this one will just be ongoing monthly. So it's a continuous group, and it's 97 a month. You can start and stop whenever you want. It'll always be there, and it's going to be this evolving group where just as new tools come out, AI tools, new content formats, we'll always be updating the courses and the content. So it'll be a really great evolving resource.
Yeah, that's great. How big is the group? I mean, for the coaches, how big is the coaches numbers?
For like how many coaches are there in
Yeah,
total?
yeah, like the founding group and other
There's
coaches.
Yeah, I mean currently we have the mentorship. That's only 20 students. This one is open. So it'll grow as well. The way that the coaches are structured is, since this isn't going to be one-on-one feedback, there's not necessarily a set list of coaches, but every month different creators are coming in and doing talks, actually just
Oh
like
yeah.
this, right? Like AMA type of talks. So each month you'll have a spread of all types of niches, as well as like things like live streams and TikTok shops. And then maybe one time it's a creator that's fitness based, or how to book travel brand deals, or how to do hook theory, how to edit on CapCut and use all these effects. Like every talk will be something that if you're a creator, you will be able to pull something from, but we'll kind of dive into different niches so that whatever your niche is, there are some talks that are really directed at what you do. And that way the coaches are evolving. You'll definitely see some repeating coaches that are kind of in there more often that are part of the team. But our goal is to make this as broad as possible as far as the knowledge that the community is receiving. So every month will be different.
That's great. So David also asked the following question. So, other than going to these events, how should small creator grab attention of larger brands? Specific videos you post or build a persona?
Yeah, it's a great question. One of the best things to do is to, if you're a genuine fan of a brand, is to start posting, whether or not it's paid, whether or not it's collaborative. Don't worry about that, because when you're a smaller creator, what you really need is you need to get to the point where you're creating above your pay grade, in the sense that you might only have 200 followers, 1,000 followers, but if someone saw your content, they would think that you were a big creator. Once you get to that point where your quality of your content, and I mean quality as in the effectiveness of it, not like you have a nice camera or expensive equipment, right? It could be an iPhone talking video. But if I see a creator and I'm just like, wow, their energy and their confidence and the way they're speaking about, like, this is an incredible creator, and I go to their page and I see that they have 500 followers, I'm instantly in their DMs of like, we have to work together. Like, I will send you product, let's figure out something to do, right? And it's because the quality of their content is good. So a lot of times what creators are working on is they're thinking, how do I get more followers? How do I get the attention of a brand? When actually the best use of your time is, how can I make my content so good that even a big brand would want to work with me? Because right now, small creators have an advantage. Big brands would rather hire 100 small and micro influencers than they would 5 big creators, right? There's more of an ROI there. They're getting a better return on it. So if you make great content and consistently post about a brand, even if in the beginning it's free, and then you start sending them that, you start tagging them in stories on Instagram, things like that, most likely you will get a reply if the content is good. I did this with Celsius, is like my favorite energy drink. And so I was just always always had Celsius. I wasn't posting it. And I just started tagging them in stories and stuff here and there. Or if I was at an event, I was like, Celsius, like, just naturally. It wasn't over the top or anything, right? And again, like, I have a bigger following, so obviously they're going to take more of a notice. But I started doing this with my students, and it's super, super effective. It might take a minute. It's not going to happen necessarily on the first video if you're a smaller creator. But the way you look at it is, the very worst case, even if they don't respond, you're getting reps in, you're getting practice of making content for a big brand. And so that when that actually comes, when that opportunity hits, you're going to be ready for it. Because the truth is, most smaller creators aren't ready. Like if a big brand, their dream brand reached out to them right now and was like, great, we love it, make 5 videos by Friday and have them in our inbox, most small creators would be like, oh shoot, what do I do now? Right? So where you want to get yourself to is the point where you could make good on that and you could crush the content. And once you get to that point, it won't even matter what brands or what, because they're going to start coming to you.
Oh wow, that's brilliant. Because that's kind of remind us what we do with our fast models creator. Because we reach out to certain like SaaS product reviews, YouTube creators. We usually like for current strategy, we really do not like reach out to too like huge amount of followers, like million followers YouTube creator. Rather, we reach out to probably 10 to 30K followers on YouTube, and who have already been using fast models in the previous YouTube, and then was somehow more willing, and then they also like more easy to approach to maintain a really long-term connections. So yeah, like that's actually really brilliant. So I wanted to just affirm that answers, which is really useful if any creator right here is struggling with that right now. Yes, and then
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, and then and this Chucky, he asked how to balance entertainments and TikTok shop product promotion. I think it's kind of like circle back to the time balance, but also he probably also into
Yeah.
entertainments. Yeah.
No, yeah, it's a really good question. The true answer is it depends a lot on you specifically, right? Because I'm a good example of this. Like my main TikTok account, I have I think 8.6 million followers, and up until a year and a half ago, I never posted a shop video. So I would go to some of these talks where people were like, "Yeah, just post 3 shop videos a day, 5 videos a day, 10 videos a day," and I'm like, "Yeah, but if I do that, I'm obviously going to kill my audience, which has been built on entertainment." So my strategy is going to be very different than someone who's coming in with a fresh account who has nothing to lose and is just like, "I'm going to post 10 videos a day," right? What I would say is really important is that if you want to grow your account, that's going to be more based on storytelling and entertainment. Most of the time, if you're making a shop heavy video, people aren't necessarily going to follow you from that unless you're like really niched into a specific category and they're like, "I'm a huge fan of Hello Kitty and you make Hello Kitty videos, and so like I'm down," right? But like most shop creators, you bounce around between a few products and stuff. So it's important that you set aside at least one of your days a week or one of your hours a week, however your shooting schedule looks, out of your, say, like 4 or 5 days or 4 or 5 hours that you're doing this, to be purely on entertainment and on storytelling and on connection with your audience. And I would actually say that if you're able, if you have the time to make it 50-50 in the beginning, it's going to be the most powerful for growing your account, because you don't want to people to just be like, "Oh, they're just trying to sell me something." It's going to be really hard to build your account that way. So if you have the time, weight it heavier entertainment in the beginning. Once you hit that 5K threshold and you can start doing top shop videos, maybe you start to bring it a little closer. Once you hit like 10K followers, you're about 50-50, and then if you're like, shop is crushing for me, I just want to run shop, you can absolutely do it. But for me, I think that the long-term value of the account is really important. And so that's why making those videos that are connection and story-based are really important to keep, even when your shop starts taking off.
Wow, that's nice. I think your answer it's always circle back to the previous question. Like the persona things. That's really great. And then someone also like the handle Mio Wika. She also second shares thoughts that she start tagging her favorite makeup brands and then end up getting the products. That's amazing. Yeah. So Elizabeth asked, how do you balance daily to answer emails, DMs, and your live and content? I'm struggling with that.
Yeah, this is the hardest part as a creator, I think, for a lot of us, for me as well. One of the things that's really helpful here is you want to organize your day, you want to organize your week by what are the tasks that are the most important, right? Kind of the 80-20 rule. 80% of your results probably come from 20% of the things that you do. So for me, what I noticed is that there are certain types of content that I create. I have a series where I dance on the sidewalk, like in public, and people come up and they ask if they can dance with me, and I teach them dances, right? And it goes super viral. But what I noticed is like I can film 10 to 20 of those videos in an afternoon. So rather than me going out there filming 2 videos and then coming back and then editing them and sending them to a thing and posting them and then going out to the sidewalk the next day, I started just doing one day where I'm at this sidewalk for 8 freaking hours in the sun. Like, it's a long day,
Oh my
but
god.
I'll shoot like 30 videos in 8 hours, right? And then instead of me editing them, now they're doing well. I'm getting some brand deals on them. They're monetizing a bit. So I was able to hire an editor specifically for that
Oh.
series. He knows exactly how to do that series. And so what I do now is I shoot for the 8 hours once a month. I send them to him, and then I get a folder back a week later of like 30 videos that are done. And then I set aside an hour where I take all my content from that week or from my editors and I post them and I upload them and I draft them all on every platform, like done, right? And then I have VAs that actually make my posts live and stuff like that. But basically the point is anything that you can block into an amount of time, you want to take out of the category of daily tasks and you want to put it into a block of like every 3 days, every 5 days, right? So DMs and emails, unless there's something urgent and you're like working on a deal right then with a brand, most likely you don't need to check your email every single day. And you could do every other day, or you could do it twice a week and you'd still be okay, right? Same with DMs. Now you might say live is where I'm making the most money. It's where my following is growing the most. I absolutely cannot miss live. So live you get every single day, right? But you want to do this with yourself and uh, be really objective. So a lot of times we'll say, yeah, but I like this, or maybe no, you want to look at it from an analytics perspective. Is this moving me forward? Is this growing my audience? Is this getting me closer to my goals? And if the answer is yes, it goes at the top of the list. And if the answer is no, like those admin tasks that you still have to do, lump them together and put them as a lower priority. That's helped me a ton because I'm very creative and I have ADHD. So I'm like shiny object. Oh, I could make this video. I could make that video, right? But then at the end of the day, the sidewalk videos are the ones that are working the best. Let me lock in and make those. It's a huge, huge, huge hack for efficiency.
Wow. Can I ask, like, when do you usually go to bed, and then when did you usually get up and work? That's
I'm
my
trying
personal
so
questions.
hard to be a morning person, guys. Like, I'm a dancer, I'm a DJ. I typically like
Everything.
on the weekends, I'm like I'm up late. But I try to go to bed at midnight and get up at 7:30. That's like my goal. But
Oh, you're.
inspiration hits. Like last night, I was hiring someone to help me with some AI content. Honestly, we were going back and forth on the idea, and I was up till 3, 4 in the morning, just like
Mm.
generating things on Kling and whatever. So I think that discipline is really important, but you have to be disciplined in the right ways.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as a creator, if you're crushing it on videos and you're in a flow state and your camera is set up and you said, oh, I was only going to film for an hour, but your flow state is going and you have ideas, that is more valuable than whatever you were about to do
Oh.
next. So also having the awareness to be like, okay, I said I was going to do X, Y, and Z, but like this actually is really important. I clear my calendar, I cancel my training session in the morning, I do whatever I need to do, and I stay up and I keep going on that energy that's working. Because once you get in a flow, once you have your stuff set up and your mind is in the right space, you're infinitely more powerful than when you come back the next day and you have to get back to that state again.
Oh wow, 100%. That's like an artist mindset. Like singer or a dancer. When you have like inspiration, just do it right now.
Yes,
That's great.
done is better than perfect, right?
Yes. Okay, so one last question to wrap up the AMA today. So, Carrie says Bostic? Oh, she asked if I'm trying to niche in beauty. Should my entertainment part to be related to beauty or just anything?
Yeah, the answer is both. You want to ideally have your entertainment content not get so far away from beauty that it doesn't make sense. But what I mean by that is, as a girl who is making content on beauty, your whole lifestyle, what you're doing as far as like, how do you work out? What do you eat? What are you doing with your girlfriends on the weekend? Are you having a date night, right? You can still find ways to make everything you do in your life pertain to the lifestyle of a beauty creator. Or you had a date tonight. How did you do your makeup? Or you love this restaurant and you're going out to it for the night, but you talk about how you've been making content all day for this brand and now you're finally getting a break, right? Like you can still make content about anything. I'm at the gym and I sweat a lot when I do hot yoga. I take this Pilates class, but I found this concealer that doesn't melt off my face when I'm in hot yoga, right? Like you can still do everything that you do, but find subtle ways to talk about beauty and relate it into your products or into your videos. And that doesn't mean that sometimes you can't just try things out of left field. 100% you should experiment. TikTok is the perfect playground because TikTok doesn't judge you based on a bad video. One of the scariest parts of being a YouTube creator, like 10 years ago, was that one bad video, one video that flops, and you kind of get like this little bit of a shadow ban. You kind of get in this lull, and then, oh, I had a couple good videos. Now I'm back in the good graces of the algorithm, right? And you'll see on TikTok, that's really not the case. Like you can have videos flop 20 million. And you're like, how, right? But it's just the way the algorithm is. It treats content individually. So what that means as a creator is, while it is good to sort of have this world that all revolves around beauty and relates back in some way, there's no punishment for being like, I just love lobster and I'm going to this lobster dinner and I'm making a video about going out to lobster dinner and forget beauty for the night, right? So take those shots. A really good creator to follow is my friend Victoria, V Prince,
Oh, VP. Oh, yes.
VPrince. I
She's
think her name
apt.
actually on TikTok is V Prince Music.
Yes.
She was the one I mentioned earlier. She was at YFCon, but she's a great one to follow because she does fashion beauty. She's one of our affiliates for Mad Chill.
Oh.
She does a ton of beauty stuff. And she's just posting like stuff with her boyfriend, funny things around the house, all this stuff. And she also posts like 5 to 10 shop videos a day. She's an absolute beast. So I think she's a great inspiration for someone that balances shop and entertainment content.
Yes, 100%. And then she walked for the fashion, TikTok fashion thing last events in New York. She did like the runway show for a fashion team. So it was really cool. Love that so much.
Yeah, she's great.
Yes. Okay, this wrap up our very last open floor question. So Matt, this has been legendary. Like, not gonna lie, like this is really inspiring. I already feel like the the Viral Academy will be even like better than this AMA today. So Matt, feel free to start threads in the channel I told you before, so people, our creator, can start signing up your, impressive Bar Academy. And then everyone, don't forget to sign up for YFCon. We still have early bird ticket, which is free. We're gonna switch to paid tickets probably mid-March, and then let's all, wish Matt can join WebCon this year. So he has like a long line after he got off the stage last year. People are lining up for Matt. So you guys are really lucky today. So lock in, and then we'll probably see Mac again. Thank you guys. You have a good one. See ya. Thank